25th, 2022 City of Broussard Council meeting. Please silence your cell phones, and if anyone from the audience would like to make a comment on an item listed on the agenda, please fill out a blue card located in the back of the room and turn it into our city clerk. Each speaker will be given a maximum of 5 minutes. Please rise for the pledge. Councilman Garrett, would you lead us in the prayer?
We, the members of the Broussard City Council, beg of thee, Almighty God, to enlighten our minds so our work will be just and fair in all things. Give us the courage and strength to fulfill our duties according to the laws of the land, and fulfilling also thy holy will on earth and in heaven. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Item 2.1, acceptance of the minutes of the October 11th, 2022 meeting. Do we have a motion to accept?
I move.
Second.
The copy of the minutes were supplied in the council's packet. Tina, do we have any public comment?
No public comments.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3.
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yay.
At large.
Yay.
Motion carries.
Item 3.1, approval of the September 2022 financial report. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Our presenter tonight is Karen Fontenot. Welcome, Karen.
Good evening, everyone. The financials were mailed out late last week via email. With these, this closes out the first quarter of our fiscal year. Just to give you an idea of where everyone stands, 25% of the way through our budget. Admin and economic development, right on target. So is the park. Police is over slightly, so is fire, less than $50,000 in total. Streets is over about 5%. It's primarily in equipment maintenance and our regular maintenance operations. I've scanned it, Mel. There's nothing unusual. I think we just have some more frequent than normal repairs, but I'm gonna do a deeper dive a little later this month. Water is over 2%, about $62,000. Sewer is over 3%, $65,000. Cost of materials, cost of supplies, primarily the reason in that area. On the revenue side, our sales taxes for the month were 17% over the same month last year, 48% ahead of where we were 2 years ago, and 7% ahead of budget. So that puts us about $170,000 in total for our 1 cent sales taxes, ahead of where we would be on our budget. And on a very happy note, we received our second tranche of our ARP money, $2.3 million, sitting in our bank account, just accruing interest. So, does anybody have any questions about any of the financials or any of the other schedules?
Tina, do we have any public comment?
No public comments.
Any other council discussion?
Question.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large.
Yay.
District 1,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 4.1, Karen Cox, introduction of a new business. Miss Karen is here tonight. Welcome, Karen.
Okay, my name is, am I too loud? Okay, my name is Karen LaGrange Cox, and I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak with you this evening. In 2014, my husband Larry and we chose to make Broussard our home. Both of us have local businesses, mine which is a web design company, and his is a handyman service. Recently, I've created a new local business called BY Local News LLC. The B is for Broussard, the Y is for Youngsville, and it is to provide news for both Broussard and Youngsville. It's an independent and unbiased online news publication. About 4 months ago, after my elderly father re-entered Camelot Nursing Home in Broussard, he quit, and he was kind of a grumpy old man, said, "Ugh, there's not even a newspaper around here." and my response to him was, "Wait, there will be." At that point, I looked at working on creating a local online newspaper, which is how BY Local News came to be. Dad has unfortunately passed away 3 weeks ago today, and although he only had a glance of what I showed him on my smartphone, he knew of its existence, and I know he would be proud of me what I'm doing with BY Local News. My plans for it is to have local, business, community, and police news, as well as events and more. It will place submitted obituaries for retired veterans, something which my father was. He was a retired Army man. There's no paid subscription, and it's free for anyone to view online. It also provides low-priced advertising opportunities and sponsors for local businesses if they should so choose. I appreciate your time this evening, and I hope that you will join me in supporting BY Local News for both Broussard and the Youngsville communities. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 4.2, Mr. Travis Laurent and Mr. Brian Boudreau variance request for villas on Jefferson Street and rear setbacks. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion. Second. They're both here tonight, gentlemen. Welcome, Mr. Boudreau.
Thank you. Name, Brian Boudreau. So villas on Jefferson, we have an existing condition where it's AC pads that are directly behind the townhomes. They're in those positions because they're within the lot lines of each townhome. That also happens to fall within drainage easement. So we're here tonight asking for allowance to leave those AC pads in existing positions.
So the diagram is on screen. 9, is it 9, Brian?
Yes, 9 units.
So just a little bit of back information on it. When it was being designed, the rear drainage was a private drain. Working with Mr. Guidry, the developer, during the conceptual, I guess, or during the planning for it, the drain became a city drainage, and Mr. Guidry buried it as we had talked about.
Yes.
Which all worked, and the city wants to be in charge of drainage in case there's an emergency. You know, our crew can get in there, which was the reason it was done. So the drainage system there was donated to the city, was accepted by the city. The reason for the variance is because it's a public drainage system and not a private drainage system. The AC pads being in them is the issue that is currently being presented for the request of the variance. If I got any of that wrong,
No.
please let me know.
That's exactly correct.
So it was private, became public.
Yes.
Everything was fine until the pads for those non-air conditioners entered that space, and the council would need to approve that if the variance would be granted.
Yes. Yes. And Travis can attest to that. He's checked the drainage and the flow. There's no impediment on the flow as the way it was designed with the AC pads in place.
Can you go over the size of the pads and the size of the ditch for us? How big are the pads?
I didn't come prepared with the size of them, but a typical air conditioner pad is roughly 4 by 5.
And it's on a concrete pad, the AC is on top of the pad naturally. How big is
Yes.
a concrete pad?
The concrete pads that are out there are roughly 4 by 5.
Okay.
The ditch that you refer to is subsurface, and we will be adding some additional subsurface drains, even though the drainage is working quite well.
Okay, so you have storm drainage right there.
There's storm drainage there, not a ditch.
Not a okay.
Subsurface. And we'll be adding some additional inlets so that, we verify that there won't be any impact, even though it's working fine now.
And stormwater retention is where?
Stormwater retention is, near Madison Street.
It's in, okay, this area.
Yes,
Where's the
common.
common detention?
Area, on the bottom side.
Bottom part, right against, parallel with the street.
Yes.
Kenny, the issue is that the AC pads and the ACs eventually are in the drainage servitude. Right now, that's a public drainage servitude. If ever we have to get in there and dig something up, we're talking about having to remove AC pads to get to the drainage.
Cause they'll be right over the pipe.
They'll be right over the pipe. So the scenario, and you have 9 separate units here that today they're owned by one person. They could be 9 separate owners. So in the eventuality that Mel would have to get back there and remove all this, of course, they're probably hit during August. And how long would it take us to, to repair it and all that? It's kind of putting a lot on the city from a liability standpoint. And,
Why can't all this be moved up 4 feet?
Why did we take over the drainage? Why did we leave it private?
because the drainage from the adjoining property drains toward this property, so it's accepting off-site drainage, and that's why we wanted it to be public, so that we could maintain it. Typically, and a good chunk of the property next door drains into it. That was the reasoning.
You can't move it up 4 feet?
At the current stage that it's.
And
what's
it
in
is pipe,
place.
right? Am I correct? It is the.
It's subsurface,
Yeah,
yeah.
so,
In order to clean it, we wouldn't have a problem with cleaning it because we could access it from Madison and use a suction truck
yeah.
and clean it out. In the event that there's a pipe that collapses or something, that's a different story, and we would have to get back there and dig it up.
Is it plastic corrugated or concrete?
It's plastic, yeah.
Plastic corrugated. How many times have we seen that collapse? You
Well,
know, of course, there
typically,
won't be
you
any
don't have to
training
traffic
traffic
on
on
it.
it,
Yeah,
but
Typically, when it collapses, because a mixer truck passes on it or something, and the concrete's poured, so.
well, I mean, if it's like you said, if it's the pipe, we have the proper drainage, we accepted it. There's no cars that are gonna be going back there. So there's not traffic that would cause it to collapse. You say we can clean it, I say we give it a variance. Anybody agree?
Any other council discussion?
I guess I still have
I'm
problems with it.
familiar with
myself.
this and, I've watched the, build of it. I'm kinda like, why we got it? Why the city took the ownership of it? Why it's not private? It's between two private properties.
But even if we took it over, it's a pipe. We're not passing cars on it. It's basically air conditioning pad. We can't clean it. You just verify we can't clean it. So our biggest issue would be cleaning, correct?
Well, to me, liability of smashing an air conditioning unit might be an issue. If we ever do have to get back there and do anything.
Well, then,
That's
at that point, I mean, how often does, like I said, the smashing is because of traffic, we're not having.
Well, I mean, if we do have to get in there, we have an easement and we got a problem and we go back there and we damage a unit, even without a machine, a shovel could swing around and hit the coil or anything. I'm kinda like what you said at first. If we give it back to them and that's their property. Would you go with, could you, I mean, to me, that sounds better than giving them an easement. If we give them an easement,
Where I think we
then
did
we
that,
gotta
right?
eat those.
We could
bad-
abandon the easement and then it's their issue.
Well, let's do that, then. If y'all feel better doing that,
I would.
abandon the easement.
Then way the city don't have no liabilities whatsoever on air conditioners or nothing.
Or the construction project.
Pay
I mean,
for
we have easements for a reason, man. I mean, I just can't see, I can't vote for this. I can't see that. That's just me personally.
What, giving them back the easement?
Well, we can give it back to him. I just don't want to approve this the way it is.
I don't either. I'd rather give it
Owning
back.
the easement and having his air conditioning units on top.
Give it back.
Yeah, if he wants to maintain it,
I mean, abandonment takes us out of it, and then if there's an issue with the neighbor, it's a civil matter. You're talking about one lot, one property owner, we had originally kind of done this in our mind to help them. Now, and just so you know, the original drawings that were sent did not show the drawings that were sent to the city did not show the pads in the back. They were on the side. This kind of popped up during construction, and I don't know, maybe if Ben caught it or something, I don't remember. But this wasn't planned out this way.
Mr. Guidry, you're certainly part of the discussion, please. If you, I can see you have a blue card.
Yeah, thanks. I'm okay with a private easement and giving the city 100% authority if they ever need to get into it. Does that solve the problem?
We could definitely sign a document. If it was a
Yeah.
private drainage servitude, you give
Correct.
us authority to clean it in
And
case of
avail
an
it.
emergency.
Sure.
That is something we could definitely do. I mean, from the city's perspective, what we want, if there's a hurricane, there's an emergency, Mel's crew can get
Yeah.
back there and open up
Does
a
that solve the
drain.
problem? If
That
it's a
solves the
private
problem.
easement, but it allows the city to maintain it or get in it at any time? Yeah.
David, you might.
And-
Give us a
and-
temporary,
and
So
in
you can
addition-
own it privately and give the city an easement, which is just an agreement that we can enter the property, use it. But then if there's ever some kind of big liability of failure, it's still private. We just have an agreement.
And in addition, hold the city harmless for any damage that's done back there. How about that?
Understood, but I don't think well, I'm not the attorney, but if you own it and we just have an easement, which is an agreement of use, I think that
In all
covers it.
actuality, where the pads are, the AC pads and where the pipe is, the AC pads is probably about a foot or two outside of where the pipe is, so it's not like it's on top of the pipe.
Cliff, the owners that are right behind, or right next to the pads, that's open property or is that fenced in?
It's open.
It's all open.
Fenced in. It's-
Do you have a privacy fence right there? Because you
it's
sure
their-
don't have
it's-
enough room.
It's their fence, not mine.
It's their fence.
Yeah, not mine.
You plan to put a privacy fence?
I can do whatever the city wants. If the city wants a privacy fence, I'll put it. If not, I don't put it.
No, I'm just saying,
I don't believe that, you don't have back doors in that unit anyway.
No back
It's just
doors.
windows, right? And the lot
Just
next door
windows.
is undeveloped. Currently, it's undeveloped.
And keep in mind, the drain has been in for about 2 months, and all the rain we've been getting, no issues. Now we're gonna add another 7 inlets to accept more water. So for 2 months, you had no issues with the rain. We're gonna add 7 more inlets, so I don't think the water's gonna be an issue.
I got concerns about the units.
Yeah.
If we go back there with a shovel even and just an accident happens, we don't, the city ought not be behind AC.
Agree.
So,
So Oscar, would the recommendation be?
Yeah, Mayor,
or-
I think the idea of it abandoning the back, making it a private right of way would be the way to do it, but he brought up a good question. The point here too, even with the temporary to go in, I think we would need a whole harmless for the city in that temporary, that we keep ourselves
I'm
clean.
good with that.
Well, and
It protects the city.
it protects the city, but we certainly would want to be reasonable. I mean, with it, but if we had to start digging up in an emergency, that all makes sense. So you would prepare an act of abandonment? Is that
Correct.
The-
And then if it comes to doing the actual easement for temporary work, we could work in some whole harmless language of that to give a second layer of protection to the city.
So if the council so chooses to agree on this tonight, although the documents are not done, it would give Mr. Guidry the ability to kind of move forward with.
And you could do it in perpetuity. Good?
Yeah.
So it will come back to the council as an
Right.
act of
Right.
abandonment, is that correct?
Exactly. We will prepare it.
Shall the council vote on that
No, I
tonight?
mean,
Or-
let's get the abandonment, when is, well. Would it be holding you up if we didn't actually approve it tonight, till we get the abandonment in place?
Whatever you guys want.
As long as it won't hold you up with anything, I think it'd be cleaner to go ahead and do the abandonment, then bring it up to approve the variance.
Well, correct. The council cannot vote on the abandonment
Right.
tonight and the agreement, and
Right.
et cetera. But they could at least, let Mr. Guidry understand their intent so he can move forward,
Exactly.
understanding the intent.
It's perfect.
Is there any objection to the way Oscar just described?
Good? Kenny, you good?
Yes,
David, good?
we don't want to stop progress.
Good, okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Cliff.
Oscar, is there any motion right now? And do you need a motion to defer action or? Motion, okay, do we have a motion to table?
A motion to table.
I second.
Is there any other public comment? Okay, do we have a call for the question?
Question.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large,
Yay.
District 1, yes. District 2,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 4.3, authorize cancellation of the November 8, 2022 city council meeting due to election. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move.
Second.
So this item was on the agenda. A few councilmen had asked me about it, so it's up tonight for council discussion and approval or denial. Tina, do we have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large,
Yay.
District 1, yes. District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 5.1, resolution number 728-22, a resolution authorizing a cooperative endeavor agreement with Lafayette Parish for firefighter services. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move.
Second.
Our presenter tonight is Chief Brian Champagne. Welcome, Chief.
Thank y'all. This is our annual contract that comes up every year for firefighting within the unincorporated areas of our city. This is an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Lafayette and the parish of Lafayette to allow us to perform firefighting duties within the unincorporated areas. And in return, they pay us and they give us some money towards one of our positions. So this is our annual renewal. It renews every November 1st.
Chief, what is that amount that?
So you get 42,000 for the contract itself, and then we get 28,000 for the paid position. So, and it's broken up in installments over each quarter. So we get it a little bit at a time, but
Yeah, total of 71,322.
so
This is to, answer calls in unincorporated parts of the city.
correct.
Unincorporated parts of the parish.
Unincorporated parts of the parish, but mainly each jurisdiction has their own contract. So we, it's our job to protect the unincorporated areas of Broussard. So we assist in other areas, but the contract is basically to protect the unincorporated areas of our city.
Chief, I'll throw you, your department a little compliment. We are still one of the cities that is calling within the parish for a broader reach of services, medical calls, car wrecks, certainly house fires and large events are the minimum that we have to do
Correct.
to meet the guidelines of the contract. But your staff is going above and beyond and you're supplying services that are needed and we can do a faster response. And fortunately, the city's been able to afford to be able to support the fire department in that, but, you have expressed the need to maintain that as long as possible.
As long as possible. It's working, so, we just keep doing what we're doing, if it's working. So we appreciate all y'all's support.
Tina, is there any public comment?
No public comments.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Any further
Thank you.
council discussion? I'm sorry.
Question.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large,
Yay.
District 1, yes. District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 6.1, ordinance number 22-743, an ordinance amending the 2022-2023 operating budget for fiscal year 22 and 23 for capital outlay in the amount of $250,000 for an additional turn lane on St. Nazaire Road. Do we have a motion to adopt?
Second.
This item was introduced and approved at the last meeting. This is the second vote to fund the turn lane. The diagram is on the screen. If anyone has any questions, Tina, do we have any public comment?
No public comment.
Any council discussion?
Yes, just want to make a quick note on the ordinance itself. It has 230,000 at the top. So I may want to get that corrected before we, on the ordinance itself, it's 230. So just before we post it.
Supposed to be 250.
Question?
District 6. At large.
Yay.
District 1.
Yes.
District 2.
Yes.
District 3.
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6.2, ordinance number 22-744, an ordinance amending the 2022-2023 operating budget for fiscal year 22 and 23 for capital outlay in the amount of $96,500 for tennis court improvements at St. Julian Sports Complex. Do we have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
This is also the second vote on this item. Presentation was done by our Kyle LaSalle and Jamie Abshire, Park Director, last meeting. Is there any public comment, Tina?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question?
At large.
Yay.
District 1. Yes. District 2.
Yes.
District 3.
Yes.
District 4.
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yay.
Motion carries.
That was the last item on our agenda. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Please drive safely. Meeting adjourned.